I was rolling down the street one afternoon when I encountered a curious child. He was staring at the wheelchair, and he was curious what was wrong with me. Yet, his mom wouldn't let him approach me. She was too embarrassed to come ask me a question. This happens to me a lot. It is a thing that I have to deal with each time that I go out. Yet, I am still amazed at the looks I get. They look at me like I am a strange being, like nobody has seen a wheelchair before. Then I wonder, will there ever be a time when I am seen as a normal person? Let me pause there and share with you another story. It was 1997. I was a senior at Hope College, and my friends and I went to the Grand Rapids Griffins game. As we were walking to our seats, we were stopped by a man. We didn't know this man, but he told us he had a brother that was not normal too. My friend looks at me. I look at him. Then we began laughing. My friend asked the guy, "Well, are you normal?" The guy looked at us funny. Then he walked away. What is normal? What defines something as normal? These are two questions you and I are very concerned about. We strive to fit into the category of normal. But have we succeeded? The first thing I want to do is to define what normal is. The Webster Dictionary defines it as conforming to a type, standard, or regular pattern. Something that occurs naturally. Something that is without physical or mental disorder. Society has defined normal as something without a struggle. Something that is cool. And everything outside of this definition is not normal, weird, or uncool. We are bombarded with this idea every day. The media tells you, if you have a flaw, you can fix it. If you look different, we will give you a makeover. But don't be satisfied with the person that you are. Do something about it, so you will be able to fit in. There is an idea that normal is something that is cool. It is something that gives us status. We want to be in the group that sets the trends. We desire to be highly regarded. So some of us sacrifice what we believe, because we don't want to be an outcast of the society. Listen to this paragraph in the book Blue Like Jazz. Donald Miller writes, "I think we have this need to be cool, that there is some undercurrent in society that says some people are cool, and some people are not, and it is very, very important that we are cool. So, when we find somebody who is cool on television or the radio, we associate ourselves with this person to feel well in ourselves. And the problem I have with this is that we rarely know what the person believes, who we are associating ourselves with. In other words, who cares about what I believe about life? I only care about if I am cool." I think Miller hits it right on the button. We care about our stature in society so much. We lose sight of what we believe in. Our beliefs become secondary to us. And soon we really don't know what we believe. Let me tell you something. If you are striving to fit into what culture perceives as normal, the game will never end. You will never be able to fit in because the standards are set way too high. They are always changing. And you will find yourself looking for a way to get out of the game. The time has come to change. The time has come to become a person of integrity. A person who knows who they are. A person who knows what they believe. A person who is willing to take a stand. A person who isn't scared to show people the brokenness that they have in their lives. I was born in 1973. The umbilical cord was coming out before me, so they had to do an emergency C-section. As they did the emergency C-section, they knew they were racing the clock. 45 minutes later, I was born. I wasn't breathing and my body was blue. They started CPR and gave me CPR for 40 minutes. I was breathing finally, but I had gone without oxygen for more than an hour. The lack of oxygen caused an injury to the motor portion of my brain. I had cerebral palsy. I am classified as an advocacy, which means my muscles never stop moving. The expectations for my life were high. As I grew up, I was aware I was different from the rest of the children my age. My disability affects every muscle in my body. I am unable to do the regular daily tasks that people usually do on their own. I am unable to talk or use my arms and hands, but I can control my feet and toes. People have judged me by my appearance of my life. They still do. I am talked to loud. I am looked at funny. All because I ride in a wheelchair and talk with the computer. It used to bug me when I was in high school. Mom bought the right clothes. I was right in the style. Yet, I was not fitting in. I had everything. Yet, I was still different. I was so frustrated. I hated my high school days. When I went to Hope College, I decided to quit acting. And I showed people who Chris Klein was. And I began to be accepted for the person I was. And the disability disappeared. It disappeared because I quit trying to be something I was not. And people saw a guy in a wheelchair who liked video games, who liked sports, who liked to joke around. And they wanted to get to know the real me because I stopped pretending. Do you understand how frustrating it is not to be able to express yourself? Do you understand how frustrating it is when your parents or brothers and sisters can't understand you? My disability affects my ability to speak. So for the first 6 years of my life, I couldn't express myself. I couldn't tell my mother what was wrong with me, or let her know how I loved her. I was stuck because nobody could really understand me. And now everybody wondered what my mental capability was. These were questions nobody could answer. Because while some believed I expressed myself enough, other experts couldn't tell. As I grew up, I started using a picture book to communicate with my family. It solved some of the frustration, but it was slow, and I still couldn't communicate everything that I wanted to say. Judy, my speech therapist, wondered if I might be able to speak using a communication box, so I was given my first one when I was 6. We took it home and Mom let me try it. I used my left big toe to operate it, and by the next day I was talking in complete sentences. This changed the course of my life. All of a sudden, my family could see I was able to communicate. They knew I understood them. And now the real adventure was going to begin. Yet, as a person living with a disability, you are always going to fight the system. You are always going to have to prove yourself. And trust me, that gets old at times. We always had to fight the system so I could be in the regular classroom, even when they agreed I should be mainstreamed. My home school district decided it would be easier to bus me 30 minutes away than to make the effort to accommodate me. So I was in school with other kids who were not in my neighborhood. I believe God has called me to be a pioneer. This began as a child. As I was the first to be mainstreamed, I have accepted the challenges. I don't expect to be handed anything. I have proved myself over and over, and I will continue to do so for the rest of my life. I don't want to beat my own horn, but I feel the disability community needs more people like myself. I feel too many people believe society owes them something. Yet, at the same time, I wish people could see past the disability. My disability is able to be seen, but let me ask you, what is your disability? We all have a disability here. Most of us in this room can hide their struggle, but that disability is constraining you in some way. We all have something that is holding us back, and if we don't share our struggles, we aren't going to be able to overcome our constraints. What we need to do is share our struggles with each other. When we do that, the constraints in our lives become less restrictive, and we believe we can dream big and achieve anything. That is what my organization is all about. What people really need to understand. Assistive technology is a great tool because it gives a person with a disability the opportunities to have independence and a life. Now I want to make a difference in other people's lives. Become as committed to creating awareness, educating people, and assist with funding assistive technology devices. We want to empower people with the belief that anything is possible, and also with the equipment to live life to the fullest. Do you have any questions?
Oh.